Welcome back to Starkiller Base. Today we have the round 2 coverage of our Black Knight Games regional from February 3rd, 2018. Rivals was not legal, but Legacies was. On the left we have Jon playing Elite Vader, Mother Talzin, and on the right we have Daniel playing Elite 2-player Kylo FN. Jon brought the Ewok village to the table here, and it looks like Daniel's got the secluded beach. Jon was trying to get Sith Lord Vader back in action here by trying out some Vader Raiders and that sort of stuff, but he couldn't seem to get it to work in the current meta, so he's trying out Mother Talzin instead. Looks like Dan's won the roll-off here, and he's choosing Jon's battlefield. So Ewok Village will be the active battlefield, and he is wisely spreading those shields out so that Jon can't claim and take away both shields. For those of you who don't know, Jon is the current reigning Canadian national champion for Destiny. So he's playing out a holocron on Vader here. It should be interesting to see if Jon's built his deck with a whole bunch of odd-numbered cards, or if he's playing it a little bit differently here. So, looks like the glare switch sides of the table here. The glossy cards on the right here are much shinier than the matte ones on the left. So Daniel played out a Shoto on FN, rolled it in with FN's ability, and got a shield side. And I don't know. It doesn't really matter which meta it is. Vader is always going to be a nasty dude when he's got the right support. I mean, without the Raider in this deck, you lose all those yellows and the ability to discard a card to resolve threes and whatever else immediately, which is kind of unfortunate, but such is life. So it looks like Jon's rolled in Talzin. He's revealed a 3-cost heirloom lightsaber in his deck and used Talzin's ability to turn it to a resource, so he must be looking for a 3-cost in his hand. Kylo's rolling in here, and guessing he's calling blue. He hit Maul's saber, puts 2 into Vader, and he's got a 1 melee and a blank. Mono decks are pretty powerful, but man, Kylo and his Starfighter can really do some work against them. Alright, so looks like FN rolled in. He's got a +2 melee and a 2 melee for 1. So there's 5 damage on the board, though he does not have the resource to pay for 2 of them. Maul Saber comes down on Sith Lord Vader. And Dan currently does not have any resources to pay for any die control, so if Vader can roll well, he can really mess up the board there. Jon's got 3 cards in hand. I wonder if he has a blue ability upgrade in his hand there. We've only seen the Maul's Saber that went down, so Vader's going to take 3 more damage. Not a very good start for Vader, but he's got plenty of hit points to take. So Vader rolls in a 2 disrupt, a 2 melee, a 1 resource, and a blank. And we'll see if Jon remembers to make him discard a card. He's really giving it some thought there. Discarding Sound the Alarm, okay, interesting. Discards Best Defense for a reroll, hits the resource, and then a 2 melee for 1, so it got better. Jon could leave that 2 disrupt out there to stop Daniel from doing any more damage to him this turn, which wouldn't be terrible. Just reroll the holocron and that 1 Vader die. And Vader can't afford to take 7 damage turn 1. That's against the 2-player Kylo. Is going to be dead turn 2 or turn 3 if that's the case. And he's currently done no damage. If he can find a way to get those shields off and roll the Maul Saber back in, then life would be pretty good. He's going for it. Not saving that disrupt. Holy smokes. Okay. That's a 3 melee, a 2 melee, and a holocron special, so he now has 7 damage showing. We'll see if Dan's got any die control that he can play. Crash landing, apparently. So he's removing the 3 and then doing indirect damage. So it looks like he's throwing FN on top of the the grenade there. I think I'd be resolving the Maul Saber into Kylo to get rid of the shields, and then use the power action to roll it back in and see if I can connect it with that other Vader die, because chances are Daniel's not going to be... There we go. The chances are Daniel's not going to be playing any more die control this turn. Logistics for 2 resources, that's not bad. Get that power action in there. And Jon turns the saber to market as having been used. There's a +2. Nothing to scoff at. 2 more into Vader, putting him at 7 damage already, so he's only got 6 hit points left, which is not so good. We know he has that heirloom lightsaber on top of his deck, though, so he could overwrite Maul's saber with the heirloom and have it redeploy to Mother Talzin if everything goes really badly. I'm guessing Jon does not have a force ability in his hand, or does he? Let's find out. Maybe he's got 2 and he's deciding which one, because he doesn't need to do any more rerolls here unless he's getting greedy and going for the +4 on Maul's saber. But I don't think it's worth it for that. Question is, who does he kill? 4 damage into FN would not be terrible. Really giving this some thought here, yep. So you can see the power of something like a crash landing or the best defense, where you start putting damage on a character and then your opponent just follows that since the damage is already there and tries to finish it off. Looks like there was no force abilities in there at all. That's too bad. I think I probably would put the holocron on Mother Talzin just because we are, Vader's the target, but if Jon can get a force ability off with the holocron, then he can always move it over anyway. So let's see what happens in round 2 here. Dan's got $3. Overwrites the Shoto with a Z6, which is always good. Rolls in the blank, uses Z6 ability to roll in another blank. Hooray, Z6, good job. Such a good weapon, but that happens far too often for my tastes. I think I can get Vader in here as quickly as possible, see if I can put that 4 damage into FN before anything else happens. So we got 2 blanks, a resource, and a 2 melee. You can resolve the Maul Saber and then roll it back in real quick. Intimidate is discarded from Vader's ability. Daniel still got $2. I'm assuming he was saving it for another weapon, but will it have redeploy? I don't know. It's kind of risky. Oh, okay, there we go. So he's gone to the fallback already and put it on Kylo, the vibro knife there. Rolls in Kylo, gets a 2 melee for 1, a resource, and a 1 melee. And I'm guessing he's going to call blue again. Will he hit a neutral? No, he does not. So Vader now has... Ouch. He's up to 9, so he's got 4 hit points left. We do see that heirloom saber in his hand, so there's a rise again, spell of removal, witch magic. Witch magic would be all right if he can hit some odd numbers. 1, 2, 3. That's always good to have happen. Rise again is great, but he's got another witch magic, which means that he can heal Vader down to 3 damage. That's pretty great. So Dan takes the resource there. He's probably going to want to try to reroll that Z6 and resolve it before he rolls FN back into the pool so he can get a second use out of it, but we'll see. Witch magic again. Heals 3 because it's the same 3 cards on top of the deck. And then 3 goes right back on him. But that was a pretty good use of a turn since Vader's already got some nasty dice in the pool here. So I think the rise again is probably not happening anytime soon. So get a nice reroll, or sorry, a roll in with Mother Talzin, since we already know there's an odd number on top of his deck. Okay, 2 into FN. 2 actions, and FN could be dead here. So kind of strange that the Dan, so he's doing the reroll there. Kind of strange that he rolled in Kylo when FN may be dead with a redeploy on there. So the Maul's power action happened, and +2 rolled in, and then FN rolled in and got a 1 melee. You could do a reroll now, or you could just roll in Mother Talzin. I don't know. Rerolling everything, okay. Interesting. And it got a lot worse. I guess the +2 doesn't do anything more to FN by itself than Vader would, but so Vader takes another damage. I don't know why Jon hasn't rolled in Talzin yet here, but we'll see. That's pretty good. Holocron special, 2 disrupt, 2 melee, and a +3 melee on the Maul Saber. So worst case scenario, even with no dice, Jon can roll in Talzin and then change one of the dice to a 2 melee to kill. So there's another crash landing. Takes away the 2. Very interesting exchange here this turn. In a Kylo FN deck, if you can resolve Disrupt and take away some money, it's not a bad choice, but of course Dan doesn't have any right now. So Talzin rolls in, gets a 1 ranged, and uses her ability to reveal a crystal ball, which is a 1 cost. So Jon turns that Vader to a 3 because FN only has 1 hit point left. Dan claimed. The 1 range kills FN, and then 6 goes into Kylo, and once again the Holocron does nothing. I mean, it's got a resolvable side, and it's a 0 cost die, so it's not terrible. And the number of times where your opponent will mitigate a Holocron special, just assuming that you've got a force power in hand, it's pretty good. So, but that hasn't happened yet. So Kylo has 6 hit points left. He's got a Vibro Knife and a Z6 on him. Vader has 6 hit points left as well. Does not have any redeploy, but I think Jon saved the heirloom from the last round, so that if Vader does go down, he can overwrite the Maul Saber and get that redeploy. It's too bad Mother Talzin doesn't have melee damage sides in that case, but it's all unmodified and no pay sides, so it's not too bad. When you build a mono deck, if you can put a healthy number of neutrals into your deck, you can actually give yourself a little bit of wiggle room against Kylo too. But in most, wow. Okay. Kylo rolls in, gets a 2 melee for 1, a 2 melee, a 2 melee, and a 1 melee. So that is 7 damage. Vader's took 2 and has 4 hit points remaining. So I think now's the time to do that overwrite on the Maul Saber, but that's still gonna, Mother Talzin gonna have 6 hit points left, and against Kylo that's not a very good matchup, particularly once again in a mono deck. We'll see if there's any removal cards here, but I don't know what you remove. I guess an overconfidence could save him, but anything else is probably gonna end up making him just die. So Jon's playing it safe, doing the overwrite. So it's looking like Vader will be dead, and there'll be 3 damage on Mother Talzin with an heirloom saber. Now she can fix her dice, so she can roll in and turn the heirloom to a 3 melee, so this is definitely not over. So crystal ball comes down on Talzin, and probe comes out. It's Feel Your Anger, and the heirloom saber there stays because it's not an event. Might as well roll her in now. That's not a bad roll there. So we got a 2 ranged, a 1 resource, and a blank, and we revealed a 4 strike from the top of the deck, which is at 1 cost. So there's a 3 melee there. Force Illusion comes down and ruins Mother Talzin's day. But obviously Jon still has to put those 5 damage into Kylo. So there's 2 going into Kylo, which will put him to 8. Might as well force illusion the 3 instead of the 2. So Dan claims. And then the 3 goes into that force illusion. Not some terrible discards there. So with 6 hit points left, this could very well be over action 2. Kylo rolls in, calls blue, does 2 damage, puts her to 5. Depending on what he rolls on his dice, those dice can do 9 damage potentially. But with 3 resources and a handful of cards, there's probably some die control in Jon's hand somewhere. We'll see how this plays out. It's definitely not over, but I would give Kylo the advantage, definitely. So Kylo rolls in again with these melee dice. Wow. 2 melee, 1 melee, 1 melee, and a blank. And then the Z6 re-rolls into a 2. So this is overconfidence about the only thing that'll save Jon right now. Or, you know, block. But nobody runs that. So that is 6 damage, and Mother Talzin has 4 hit points left. So if Jon doesn't have anything in his hand here, then there's probably going to be a handshake coming up. I don't see anything in there. Definitely giving it some thought, though. So that's the GG. That's the end of our coverage for round 2. So stay tuned for more coverage coming soon. And thanks for watching Starkiller Base.